guys, it's JQ Crafty. Welcome back to another Tuesdays in the Attic, week 33. This sketch contains a nice grid area for your photos right in the center, and then the entire background is squares of pattern paper. I had these Thanksgiving 2019 photos still sitting on my desk that I need to scrap for my niece. I figured they would work perfectly. Haven't done winter photos. I need to start scrapping the photos I have sitting over here to finish them up so I can check a box on my to-do list. And then I grabbed out all my Studio Tecturic papers. I haven't played with these in a while. They're all winter themed, but a fun, different kind of color winter themed. And I like these ones. With these pictures, I did a couple layouts about the same subject with these papers because my son has orange in all his stuff, and then she has blues, and this is it's oranges and blues and reds for the winter, and it's just fun. They're just fun papers. So I'm going to cut down and make my collage. I'll try to keep that in here so you can see it, and let's get started. All right, so I'm looking through all these papers. So there's a couple collections here from Studio Tecturic. They're mostly their winter collection, but some of them are... they all came out around the same time. Paper Issues had some, and I just grabbed the ones that basically caught my eye, I should say. So one's called Peachy Christmas. Another one I think is technically a birthday one. I don't have all the branding strips anymore, but I decide on a few papers, and as you can see, some of them are cut aparts as well. So I checked the back, and I wanted to use some of those cut aparts, I decided, in my layout. So I am making sure I cut those out first, and then I can grab the patterns that are on the other side of those if I like them. So I'm doing that, and I'm cutting all my papers down then into 3x3 so they fit on a grid, and so I can have the same amount of grid, or same grid basically as in the sketch, the 4 different squares across. That's how you'll get your 3. So I'm just doing that. And I really like the way this came together. It came super colorful. Despite being a winter page. I feel like sometimes winter pages are not colorful, but I like to do color always. So it's fun when you can incorporate also non-traditional colors in some things. I am a big fan of that. So I got all my papers cut, and now I just arranged them just to see how big of a photo grid mat I need for the center. So I end up using... I measured when my photos were, it was 8.5 by 8. So I'm cutting a piece of paper, or that blue paper, down to 8.5 by 9, or 9 by 8.5. So that way I have a little bit of an edge. And that was perfect. Brings in more of the blue, which makes me pretty happy. Yeah, it all turned out so good. It's so cute. So cute. So now I'm putting my grid down, and so there's no science for me with this. It's just put it down how you can in my book. So I'm putting the papers down, or the pictures down. So the sketch shows you using 4x6. So mine are those classic getting printed somewhere 4x5 1/4. They're not quite 4x6. So I am just adjusting. So that is why I measured my outside mat first, because I knew it wasn't going to be 4x6. So I couldn't just guesstimate based on those measurements, because mine was not going to be 4x6. And sorry, I'm a little distracted. So I matted those down, and then I was just marking how much to trim off for those other photos to make them smaller, because I just had 4x5 photos that I was just going to trim down because there was a lot of extra white space. So I'm going to go ahead and arrange all my squares, figure out how I want them laid down. I fuss with them for a little bit, but then I just stick down some of the tear tape. I'm trying to use this tear tape up. I really like it, but it's if I don't use it, it just sits there, and that bothers me. And it's just less ATG I'm going to use if I use this first. So I do end up running out, I think on this layout, yeah. But I just put some strips of tear tape down and then adhere my squares as I go all the way around, which works out really well because then that photo cluster mat is going to be on top of it, so I don't have to really worry about it being stuck down too good, because then the center photo cluster is going to be down. So I don't have really any embellishments that came with any of these collections, and they tend to not have a ton of embellishments, but they do have these cut aparts. And so I saved the one half because I really liked some of the items on there. So I'm going to cut out the pieces I like. I end up cutting out a couple word like phrases. I cut up the one that says hashtag my favorite in like more the turquoise blue. I end up cutting up one that says hashtag fields notes, which is technically a spelling error. But I figured we're out in the wilderness, or we're out in the outside, so field notes would be cute. And then I cut up all the tags. I cut them all apart, but I'm going to use the number 3 because there's 3 people in my photos, and then they are my favorite 3, so that's going to cluster together. I cut apart this one little phrase box. This is my day today, and then you can check the box of all the things, and one's the best, one's meh, one's amazing, another one's other, not my day, terrible, fun, good, awesome, no, no, no. Well, this was the first time my niece had ever gone sledding. I remember taking her and then texting my sister and asking, has she ever gone sledding? Because I wasn't really sure. And no, she hadn't. So I checked the box meh, and then that is where I'm going to actually journal a little bit how she wasn't really impressed, nor was she crying, so it was fine. And it was like the first sled of the year for 2019 as well. It snowed, it was Thanksgiving, and yeah, we had actually a decent snow. So it works out really well. I'm going to use the hello that I grab in a little while for part of my title, and all the lovely little alpha stickers that come with, and a label. So I cut out a few labels too. I cut out one blue one and 2 of the like corally peach colors. There's a very fun, vibrant collection and papers. 2 of the cut apart cards that I kept was the one that was a joy and a heart, and that was up in the corner, and then the other one was let it snow, and I thought that was appropriate because we were outside in the snow. I will put that hello and layer it over a label, and I'm spelling out first sled in like the turquoise color just to kind of bring that around. And then that'll get popped up on foam going up in the upper right hand corner. Instead of in between the 2 photos on the right, it'll just go in the upper right hand corner. I had a better blank spot there than where it said in the sketch. So you always adjust to where it works for you. And then I will put, field notes will be down on the bottom right. This is where I journal. And then the tag will be on the bottom left. So not 3 clusters like most, rules say, but I feel like it looks better when I have something touching all the photos. So I have a 4 because I have a grid. So it all frames each other. It all works together. And then finally I will add 2019 under my title in the peachy colors of the alphas. And then I will go ahead and do some splatters in like the 4 corners of Blueprint Sketch Distressed Stain. Or distressed spray stain. That's a mouthful. And that is all I've got. So thanks again, you guys, for watching. Close-ups here at the end. Let me know if you play along, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.